Hey, what's going on, Longhorn Nation? It's BJ with Bad Talks. I'm back from the grind, just getting ready to grind again. Starting tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Monday. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Spent some quality time with your family and your friends. Watched whoever your football team is and soaked it up because the last week of regular season college football is over. Now we move into conference championships and then get ready for the bowl season and of course. Basketball, and I don't like this. I don't like when football's over. At least we do have basketball, but once that gets hot and heavy, that's good. But once basketball's over, then my goodness, we have a long time until football starts back next year. But we still have a few weeks left in us to talk about. So let's jump right into it. It was a pretty good weekend. Started off the weekend with Cowboys beating Washington. My boss. My head physician of the emergency center where I work, he's a huge Washington Redskins fan, and he's been talking noise ever since Washington beat Dallas a few weeks back. So I told him to put his money where his mouth is. They're coming in Big D. And he likes bourbon. He likes whiskey. He likes Maker's Mark. So I told him, I said, let's put a bottle of Maker's Mark on it. And he ended up, obviously, Dallas ended up beating in Washington. So beating Washington and Dallas, so he owes me a bottle of Maker's Mark. I texted him today, said, "Hey man, you don't have to wrap that for me. Just bring it to work and hand it over, buddy." So I get that. That's a good deal. My fantasy football league won. Our team won, and then of course the Texas Longhorns, number 14 Texas Longhorns, rode into Lawrence, Kansas, and pulled out a 24-17 victory over the Kansas Jayhawks to advance to the Big XII Championship next week against the Oklahoma Sooners. And I kind of knew coming into this game it was going to be a boring, slow, low-type football game. It's Kansas. It's hard to get pumped up for Kansas, even though you have all this on the line. If we were playing Iowa State or if we were playing Oklahoma State or somebody like that, West Virginia, whatever, I think they would have played a lot better. But I think coming into Kansas, it's really hard to get up for Kansas. And I really think it was just a vanilla play calling on offense and defense throughout the whole game. I don't think we wanted to bring anything special in there. I think we knew, Coach Herman knew that they could beat Kansas with just doing the small things and being very vanilla, and they did. Of course, it was a boring football game, and defense played well, but we'll talk about that later. Some things that stood out for the Kansas game to me was Sam didn't play very well. It's obvious that his shoulder's still sore, but he was missing on some open throws. He missed Beck over the middle again. That play's worked all year long, and he's missed it a few times with Beck being wide open for touchdowns, and he's just missing him. He finally had his first interception since week 1 against Maryland. He threw 2 against Kansas, and he flat out threw it right to him. Bad reads, stared down his receiver, and threw it right to the DB. Unfortunate. I was hoping he would get through that game without a turnover, and not just because I'm a Texas fan and I don't want any turnovers, but I'm a big Sam Ehlinger fan. You guys know that you've been tuning in to me every week. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. But I'm a big Sam Ehlinger fan. He just, he was very vanilla. 2 interceptions, like I said. He didn't run with the ball a whole lot. He had 8 carries, but some of those were scrambles, trying to get away from being sacked because the O-line didn't play very good either. We made a bad Kansas defense look decent. But we also get everybody's best every week. I've been saying that since week 1. We get everybody's best every single week just because of this logo. And it is what it is. That's not being cocky or conceited. It's always been that way, regardless of how good or how bad Texas is. We always get their best. Ingram, he did well. He had 13 carries for 51 yards, and Trey Watson did well again. He had a big 30-yard run, but he had 14 carries or 15 carries for 79 yards, and he did fine. One thing that Kansas made Sam Ehlinger do was spread the ball around. He threw to 8 different receivers and running backs out of the backfield throughout the whole game. It's usually Colin Johnson. Duvernay. Duvernay's turning to be big time, man. I really like me some Devin Duvernay. He's always been solid. Under Charlie Strong, he didn't get a whole lot of playing time, but since Coach Herman's came in, Duvernay's been been the guy, man. I really like Duvernay. And of course, he's a home run hit. But again, I think Texas was probably looking forward to the Big 12 championship. They knew they were going to win that football game. Everybody in America knew they were going to win that football game. I don't care what other people were saying. They knew that Dallas. I keep saying Dallas, man. My bad. I got that Cowboys beating Washington game in my maker's mark on my mind, I guess. But we all knew Texas was going to win that football game. Defense played well. Defense played really well. They flew around, made tackles. Omenihu got another sack. The guy that stood out to me was Joseph Asai. This kid played tough, man. I mean, Gary Johnson was suspended and not sure what for. I just saw he was suspended for violation of team rules. So who knows what that is. But to me, kudos to Coach Herman, man. I know a lot of people, they jump on his case when he suspended little Jordan Humphrey for a series and John Burt and Davis for, not John Burt, Chris Boyd. Sorry, man. Like I said, it's been a long weekend. Chris Boyd, I know everybody jumped their case about it because Oklahoma State jumped all over us. But it's his culture. He's going to be that way. And he's going to suspend you if you don't do right. And I like it. I like it. It takes away that coddle that Texas has been for a while. And so I really like, and I talk about Herman every week with the culture, and I really like the culture he's instilled, and it starts at the top. It starts with the head coach. So I like it. But yeah, back to the defense. Brandon Jones is out again. He went out on a concussion protocol, took a hard hit to the head on that punt. Really wished he would have called a fair catch. Not sure what he was thinking, trying to make a play. We just all year make bonehead plays on punt return. I'm not sure why. I'm not saying that was a bonehead play, but it could have been because he fumbled the football. Luckily, Texas, one of his Texas teammates was able to jump on it. I don't remember who got on it now. I've only watched the game that one night or that morning, Friday morning. I haven't watched it again since. I've been way too busy this weekend with my boys. But Jeffrey McCullough had to fill in for Gary Johnson, so he was suspended. I tell you what, McCullough had to play the game. Sam had a turnover, and then Kansas was getting ready to score. And McCullough stuck his paw up, knocked the ball in there, and caught it, and took it back 60 yards. I thought he was gone. Once he got past that initial wall, I thought he was gone for a pick six. And, of course, they caught him from behind. But, man, that was huge interception for Jeffrey McCullough. So, kudos to you, young man. That was a great job. But, again, it was a Kansas game. One thing I do like about it is Texas finished the regular season with 9 wins, 9-3. And literally 9 points and like 3 plays away from being 12-0. Now, can everybody say that throughout the year? No, not everybody. So other teams can say that, hey, we were play away here and there. I get it, but Texas has been quarters away and games away from being good. Literally 3 plays away from being 12-0 and a whole new different outlook here. Like Coach Herman said, he thinks they're overachieving. I picked Texas, I think, the first year to win 8 games. I thought we would lose the USC or TCU game. I didn't realize they weren't going to be that good. Nobody did. But I'll take a 9-3 regular season. Again, we say this every week. If it was August and they said, hey, BJ, I'll go ahead. We'll end the season right here, make it 9-3, and Texas is going to the Big 12 Championship, and you'll wake up, would you do it? Absolutely, we would do it. Just because we're on the rise. We know we're not there. I say we, but Texas knows we're not there yet. Texas knows they're not Alabama. They know they're not Clemson right now. And that's about it. But I think Texas can play with anybody else in the country. But they know they're not the elite right now. But they're on that upper climb, as I say every week. And I really, really like it. But yeah, Texas is rolling into the Big 12 Championship this Saturday against Oklahoma. Oklahoma was in a shootout, 59-56 or something like that against West Virginia. And me and my buddies do a pick 'em every week on our Facebook Messenger, and I do my picks, and I'm winning. Of course, I've won it. Actually, I got second place last year. Second or third, it doesn't matter. I did really well, but I'm winning it this year. Barely by a couple of games, but I'm still winning. But I first picked West Virginia to win the game because it was that West Virginia night game. I thought the momentum, I thought the energy and all that would help them win. And then I thought, no, they're not going to beat Kyler Murray. their defense. They think they're the second best in the conference defense. They're not that good. Um, and I knew they weren't going to beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma, especially when Texas won at 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock, if you will, that morning, I knew Oklahoma was going to have a chip on the shoulder and beat West Virginia. And it was a Kyler Murray show, of course. You stop Kyler Murray, slow Kyler Murray down, you can beat Oklahoma. But if you let him run loose like West Virginia did, hey, he'll run all over you. And I do want to say something to the West Virginia fans real quick before I move on to the Big 12 Championship. And I'm not going to go deep into Big 12 Championship. This is a quick video. I'm going to come back later in the week and do a preview of the Texas-Oklahoma game and make it a little bit longer, probably a solid 20 minutes of Texas-OU talk, Texas-OU Part 2, if you will. But the Oklahoma-West Virginia game, I think, is quite hilarious because when Texas got beat by West Virginia by 1 point on a 2-point conversion, a prayer first, Will Greer throws up and catches in the back of the end zone. And the receiver catches in the end zone. And then they do a 2-point conversion. They won fair and square. Got it. But they talked so much trash and was so vulgar and idiotic on the comments on my YouTube channel for no reason. Just because I said they look like pansies doing the horns down. Well, guess what? You do. Against Oklahoma this week, every time they showed this crowd, they were throwing horns down. One of your coaches has a play, a 2-point conversion play with horns down. Dudes, you're obsessed with Texas. If you tell me you look at the schedule and Texas doesn't matter because you're always beating Texas, lies. But I think it's hilarious, absolutely hilarious, that starting the day on Friday, West Virginia was in the driver's seat to go to the Big 12 Championship. West Virginia was in first place, or could be in first place with a win over OU, but ended up in 4th place in the Big 12. Once again, you're mediocre. Once again, nobody cares about West Virginia at the end of the year, and good luck in your December 23rd bowl game because that's what you'll be playing. While Texas, yes, the team that you upset, will be in the Sugar Bowl or a late, early January game, buddy. So keep with your little comments down there. That lets me know you're watching the videos. I appreciate it. It's all in good fun. But yeah, we'll be back later in the week and talk the Texas OU game because I got to do some thinking on this one. Yes, Texas won the first match, our first game, 48-45. I was there, and that's why I'm wearing this shirt. This is a shirt I was wearing during the Red River Shootout or Rivalry or Showdown or whatever the heck they call it now. It was really cool to see, and I'll talk more about that, my experience, come later in the week, what that was like, some of the pregame stuff, what that was like to see. There was some shoving going on and some trash talking going on, and it was really cool to see that these two teams really do not like each other. And now, for the first time since like 1903, Texas-Oklahoma gets to play twice in 1 year. So, I'll be back. OU fans that watch this video, keep commenting. I like y'all the trash talking and how confident you are, even though you already got beat once. And your defense is probably worse. I bet Allen High School could probably score 28 on your defense. So I think it's quite hilarious that you're super, super confident because you got Kyler Murray. One thing I'll talk about is if you pressure Kyler Murray, he will turn the football over. That's a proven fact. That's not my opinion. That's a football fact. And Sam doesn't turn the ball over much. So, all right, with that, guys, I'm glad you guys had a good Thanksgiving, and we'll be back later in the week to talk, like I said, the Texas OU game. This is the Kansas game. This video is probably boring to you just like that Kansas game was. I don't think I could bring myself to watch it again. But I will watch the Texas OU game again, and then we'll come back with some good stuff later in the week. Hey, guys, keep grinding this week. One foot right after the other. Keep going forward. Life before you know it. I'll be 40 in January, and then one day I'll wake up and I'll be 80, Lord willing. So don't take anything for granted. Love your family, love your kids, love your spouses, love your friends, and love your football. God, country, football, right? If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down and tell me why. Most people do thumbs down because they don't agree with what I'm saying, usually non-Texas fans, and that's okay. Like I said, my very first video doing this at the first of the year, I'm not in this for money. I'm not in this for fame. I'm not in this for anything. As you can tell, I think 1,800 people was the most views I've had on one video. So I'm not in this to get millions of viewers. That's probably not going to happen. But I am in this because I love Texas football. I am in this because I like talking Texas football with you guys. And some of you that messaged me some really cool stuff, man, thanking me for certain things and wanting me to do certain videos. And, man, I really appreciate that you watch and you tune in. So I appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button for me. Share with your friends, whatever. Friends that want to talk football. All right, guys, I appreciate it. You guys have a good week. And once again, our Texas Longhorns are back in the Big 12 Championship, right where they belong. Hook 'em.